Hello. Absolute Football Podcast here. Do not fear or shed a tear because we are near. So lend us your ear because the transfer window is here and I'm not here alone. I thought I'd try a rhyme. Josh does it so well. It's not as easy as he makes out, to be fair, but I thought we'd have a go. This transfer window is here. Football is not over. We're going to keep you going through the summer, despite the fact that we're all boiling hot because it's just ridiculous outside. And as I said, I'm not here alone. To my left is the wonderful Charlotte. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I've even made the effort to go for a yellow background. We're in transfer season, so I'm getting well and truly into it pretty early. But yeah, not too bad. Cannot complain. I'm not doing too bad at all. And of course, below me is the man himself. It is Lucas. A Space Jam hat, is that what I see there?
It is indeed, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
One of the greatest films ever made.
Classic. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Absolutely. Not seen the second one just because I think the first one's such a classic. I was like, I'm not going anywhere near it.
Yeah.
How are you, sir? You well?
I'm good. I just realized I haven't actually got my my backlight on, so I will sort that out in a second. Don't want to be the odd one out. Yellow, purple, and probably green.
Oh, there we go. He's going to mix it up. Here we go, doing it live. And we welcome, of course, he's in. We'll go to the chat while Lucas is sorting those. There we go. Backing in the lighting. Hey, he's joining in. And Chris, thank you for joining us. Learning off Josh. I'm trying. No one can replace Josh, of course, but I try my best. Lisa joined us as well. Thank you for coming today. Simon is with us as well. Evening, everybody. And there's also somebody else in the chat. Sinky Blinky's joined us in as well. We've got plenty in. And of course, we're going to start with Heather is here. Heather is here with a hello. And
oh boy.
Heather's been on the Twitter in the last couple of hours because we're going to start. It's a busy evening. We thought transfers. We were going to be talking players. I've got a whole list of players, and then it's gone a bit manager crazy in the last hour or two. So let's start with Bournemouth. Bournemouth today have sacked Gary O'Neill, and pretty quickly they've moved on with the guy I'm still trying to learn how to pronounce. It's Iriola, isn't it? I want to say Iriola. Is that right? Iriola has come in from Rayo Vallecano. Charlotte, initial thoughts to, and we will let Heather have her say, but initial thoughts to Bournemouth.
I was shocked when I saw the news, don't get me wrong, because I wasn't expecting it. But thinking of it logically, I think the right opportunity, like if that was the man, obviously, who they've got, I can't say his name, but if an opportunity comes, I think obviously it's good for them. The style of play, as much as they were picking up results and stuff, Bournemouth, I think the stats and stuff, they were quite low compared to other teams, wasn't they? For attacking play and things like that. I think possibly it could have turned. I just think it was the right time because as much as he got them safety, just the style of playing and the things that obviously, even though they were picking up results, I don't think it was that good football. So I think it's a great opportunity for him. But I'm trying to be nice because I know Heather's here as well, and I do like Bournemouth. But I think it is good for them because potentially at the start of the season, next season, it could have got the sack. You don't know what's going on. So I think it is good for them.
It seems like I think we were all initially shocked because it come out with the sacking, wasn't it? But then because the appointment was made so soon, you can see the plans linked to it. If we were still waiting a day or two on, then you'd be going, what's going on? What are they planning here?
Exactly.
But you can see the link, can't you, between the two? I think Heather says nobody was expecting it. I think that's fair. But I think it is the style of play. I really do. I think, say, Bournemouth have done well to survive. He's done an excellent job. And then there's always a question of where's the club going next, what they're going to do, how do they play, how do they want to play next season? And if Bournemouth are thinking they're going to back the club a little bit with some transfers, they need the direction where they're going. Now's the time to do it, I guess. So, Lucas, your thoughts on the Bournemouth Gary O'Neill? Does it make sense to you? Is this going to change things next season for Bournemouth?
They've got a fighting chance now. Yeah, I think it makes sense. He was probably the one they wanted, and it looks like Gary O'Neill was probably just a stopgap. And he did well to keep them up, but like I said, I wasn't impressed by Bournemouth whatsoever in the latter stages. Sorry, Heather. Whereas this is actually I respect it. I think it's a good move. I think it's actually it shows a bit of fight. So I had not heard this manager before, to be honest. But Chris is saying he got to the semi-final of Copa del Rey and 11th in La Liga with Rayo de Vallecano, who have literally no money whatsoever. And they're right next to Madrid, aren't they? So all the best youngsters go to Madrid. So no youth prospects and no money. So that's not bad. So yeah, I like it. I think that's a good move. I think that's a good move. Someone like who's been managing La Liga is going to bring a possession-based style of football. Probably bring some exciting players across. Yeah, go for it. Oh, I like that. I like when clubs do take risks like that. So yeah, I'm in support of this.
It's bold, isn't it? It's bold, and so they've obviously spotted this guy. They've had their eye on him. I know Leeds had their eye on him as well. He was linked to the Leeds job, wasn't he? Before they went with, of course, Big Sam. Big Sam was the guy for Leeds, but Bournemouth have gone a different direction. So Heather agrees in terms of that it wasn't fun to watch last season, and I think I was trying to look through. Of course, they didn't score a number of team goals. They're individuals who scoring goals. You've got Philip Billing, I think, had 7. Solanke only got 7 as a striker because he was playing kind of very defensively as a striker. He was almost part of the unit that sat behind. So
yeah, he's also trash, but yeah.
Yeah. There's also some question marks over finishing in general. But maybe this guy can get him in the positions, or there is a plan. And I would imagine if he's bought 1 or 2 cheap boys and Rayo Vallecano, that he maybe knows a guy or two that maybe this is the Spanish Revolution coming over to Bournemouth very, very soon. So we'll all show the chat because there is conversation going on between Heather and Chris. Of course, they've started on Twitter in terms of their opinions on this move. So Chris says originally he said he thought it was a shock, but they've gone the ex-Real boss because of the way his team plays. I think that's fair. He's also asking the question, what are Bournemouth's expectations? Which is interesting because Heather is thinking expectations is Europe within 4 or 5 years, thinking optimistically that Bournemouth can move up the table.
You only got to finish 7th to get a European spot these days, so
exactly.
It's now a possibility. It's nothing, the realms. Look at what Brighton have done. Look at what Brentford are on the verge of doing. Look at what Burnley did when they came up last time. So, yeah, not in the case. And look at this. Heather was asking all our questions. She's already an expert on the Irregular manager, so we're going to be turning to her for all our knowledge. Chris asked, can he speak English? And Heather, yes, he can speak fluent in English. So I think you're in the interview, Heather. You've passed all the questions already. So, no, I think it's a good move. It's a bold move, and we'll see what happens.
There's some very big names, isn't there, in the Premier League as well? Like the managers and stuff, and like the competition and stuff next season. It's going to be really good to watch. I'm actually really excited.
Bournemouth with Iriola now. You've got Wolves with Lopetegui. There's a number of these European managers that are coming up, not just to the top 6, as it were. They're just trying to take their opportunities. So it's a manager heaven, but only one of them can win every year. So no matter how good a manager you are, if everyone's of a similar standard, you're going to need some players too. Which is why we're here with the transfer news to tell you who some of those are shortly. But while we're on the subject of managers, there was a very quick manager change in the last hour or so. We're going to drop down the leagues to obviously the Championship now. Sheffield Wednesday and Darren No More, Shah. What's happened there?
I was really baffled by this one, and it was funny because when he kind of went on the blip, a lot of the fans were calling for his head. And obviously now it's happened, they're like, what's going on? And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, like, be careful what you wish for, because a lot of them, when they went through a blip, were wishing this. But I've had people like saying, oh, is he linked with the Reading job? Is he linked with the Leeds job? The Barnsley job? There's quite a few. So, yeah, I'm a bit baffled by it. I really, really am. But I think it could possibly be linked with another club, if that is it. And I think it's potentially the Leeds one.
It seems very, again, very quick. It's the old word of mutual, isn't it? The old mutual agreement. You're going, well, there's never a mutual agreement.
It's weird, though. It's really weird, though, because if it is for, like, another potential job, it does baffle me because Sheffield Wednesday are still a big club. I know obviously they've been League One, but they are classed as a bigger club still, aren't they? Like Championship side. They've obviously been promoted as well. So I am a bit baffled by it all.
And the playoffs was amazing from Sheffield Wednesday, the comeback, but also quite an emotional time for Darren Moore because there was the whole abuse after the first leg and then the turnaround and whatever. And also, has he taken a bit of time and he wants to do something else? Difficult to say at the minute until we see what he goes on to or what Sheffield Wednesday are doing. But again, I think a lot of Sheffield Wednesday fans are shocked because it's not one, again, that they would have seen. So, So interesting. And so just quickly back to the Bournemouth one. Here is telling us, say, Gary got the phone call early this morning. I had 6 o'clock. I heard he got a call. So
wow.
You do well to sack me at 6 because I ain't picking that phone up.
Imagine, no, that is like the worst day ever. Like, it wakes you up from like you snooze. If you're having a really good dream, they wake you up, and then to be told that you're being sacked, you'd be fuming.
I've got bedtime mode on, so my phone doesn't work unless a select group of people can ring me twice in 15 minutes, and my phone will ring. Otherwise, everyone else, I'll speak to you in the morning.
You're absolutely stuffed. Too right. Exactly 6 o'clock. And you just know if that's the day, you're just like, I'm going to go downstairs and there's not going to be any milk for a coffee, or we're going to have a power cut, not going to be the kettle. We just know it's going to be a disaster.
We were talking off air, weren't we? We can just imagine Gary O'Neill now with a spoon and a Biscoff spread, a jar of it, comfy eating.
His overnight oats.
He is, with his sad playlist on, his heartbreak playlist.
Heartbreak hits.
Heartbreak hits, and his ice cream, big spoon.
A sweet couple meal or so to leave.
So yeah, a couple of manager changes, early doors, and probably not the last manager change we're going to see before the start of the season. But we were going to start to talk about players, and we'll move on to players because the transfer window is open, and it's already the doors are blowing open everywhere. It's gone crazy early doors. There's bids everywhere. There's big transfers. There's Saudi Arabian money being chucked at players.
Everyone's going Saudi Arabia.
They have tried to buy half of Chelsea's team. I mean, Chelsea look like they might actually recoup back half of that 600 million at this rate. Saudi Arabia
at this rate, to be honest.
It's crazy. We'll start there. What are you making of the Saudi Arabian revolution, Lucas, in terms of the
I love it. I just find it so funny. I just find it funny. I just love all the people in absolute turmoil at people at all these like top players in their prime going to go and play in a league who's offering them literally the most amount of money they'd make, more money they'd make in their entire career playing for top clubs in Europe in literally single seasons. So yeah, I don't blame anyone for going over there. It's football. Like, they're going to go play football. Just, it is what it is. Money talks at the end of the day. I don't know why everyone's pretending like it's not the difference. If I was offered $1 million to go and work over in Saudi Arabia compared to what I'm earning now, you really think I'm going to second guess that? Like, it's serious money. So yeah, I think it's entertaining. It'll make Football Manager very interesting next season.
Yeah, Football Manager. You'll have to load Saudi Arabian leagues, won't you?
Yep. Ultimate Team's screwed. I think it's funny. It's like almost a guessing game the next day. They'll probably start doing odds on which player is going to be like Bernardo Silva 2 hours ago. Like, he's about to. They're awaiting a bid for him. So I find it really funny, and it's only starting. They're going for everyone.
It's the beginning, isn't it? And we've only had it was only been open a couple of days, and they have literally bid for. We're talking 10, 20 players, and it's the big four, isn't it? It's the big four, I think, that got grants in Saudi Arabia, as they call them. And that just seems that, as you said, big money, tax-free. They also, you're talking about players that are looking towards not just the twilight, but they can get a 26-year-old, 26. Even Ruben Neves went, he's 25, 26.
They'll literally go 3 years and come back.
Exactly, a couple of years. And the more big players that go over there, I think you could tell it was serious because the UEFA guy was trying to make a statement about it today, wasn't he? And almost trying to dismiss it. And you're thinking, you wouldn't make no statements if you're not particularly worried about it. So
I think it was 20 billion investment into the league, which if you like, come on, like you said, tax free as well. They can throw money at. This is going to go on for the whole summer. And how many have gone now? We're looking at about 6 or 7 top names.
We're looking at 6 and 7, really. I'll just look at my list as I
go
down.
So you got Ronaldo, Benzema.
Benzema's gone. You've got Kante's gone. You've got the link.
Ziyech is about to. Ziyech and Neves is literally like any moment now.
Koulibaly's close as well.
I was going to say Koulibaly, yeah.
They've been tapping up Aubameyang, Lukaku.
They're talking to. Lukaku is only. The funniest thing was they offered Lukaku European wages.
Everyone else gets
he actually is a joke. He just gets normal wages.
The special Romelu deal. You can carry on being paid by Chelsea.
Wasn't David De Gea linked with him? If the talks fall through, I'm sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He was linked.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Zaha, they were trying to talk to.
Yeah, Zaha, yeah.
Zaha. You've got Edouard Mendy as well. I think he looks
think
like
those Chelsea ones are that's gonna happen.
That's now Ali. I think he's off. There's just
Thomas
so
Partey. They're talking about Thomas Partey. Not too pleased about that. They're going around. No. It's kind of like you're just waiting for your club. You're just like hoping none of your players appear.
Yeah, I mean they've not spotted.
Bruno Fernandes is definitely next.
Phil Jones is on the free. What's going on? Phil Weghorst.
He's been linked with Stockport. Phil Jones has been linked with Stockport County.
I've heard he's been training with Stockport to get his fitness up. But,
3 leagues below.
just to get some football in. They couldn't afford Phil Jones' wages, to be fair. He's been on he's made more than a mint over the years at United. So yeah, the Saudi Arabian revolution, as you said, is just a different player every kind of 20 minutes coming through. And it's going to put a real spanner in transfer plans, because if they start to sneak some of these players, then obviously clubs have got their plans in place and they know who may come in, who may leave, and where their threats are for some of those players leaving. Particularly if you're top six, there's only a couple of players they're leading to. PSG, Real Madrid are possibilities money-wise. Now you could have them just blowing teams out of the water, and suddenly your transfer plan's done because you've got to replace the guy that was the centrepiece of your team because he's on board with the Saudi project.
And the money they're offering is just like, you got 1 year left in your contract. Cool. How much do you want? 45 million? Fine. Fine. And you're not going to say no to that. Because the player's already like, well, I'll just go next year. So you have to accept it. It's it's quite dangerous. It's literally any player. I think there's rumor Mo Salah will be next on the hit list. They haven't gone to any Liverpool yet.
Not yet.
They're obviously trying to sign a lot of Muslim players as well. I think Benzema, Kante, who I said, Edouard Mendy, Koulibaly. So yeah, I mean, it's very exciting.
It is very exciting. I think so. Chris says it used to be MLS and now Saudi. It's China for a bit as well. China tried to do it, didn't they? And you've got sort of Simon saying here that Neves is supposed to be going for £46 million, despite only having a year left on his contract, apparently. I mean, and Neves was one we were all thinking he's going top 6 or something like that. Everyone's sniffing around. Again, not happening. Richard's joining us as well. Good to see you, Richard. We'll be okay at Newcastle. They're just getting them over there to be our B team. That's true. Maybe this is it. It's the Newcastle Feeder League is what we're going to find. This all linked to. And our friend Josh has joined us, of course, in the chat. Mad Newcastle's owners are buying out these players, but haven't seen any Newcastle transfer rumours. Well, everyone's got rumours. It's Rumourville. It's Rumourville at the minute. But a transfer that has happened is Jude Bellingham. Hey, Jude. He's off to Los Blancos to Real Madrid. I think 85 million rising to 115 with add-ons and etc. Charlotte, I'll come to you on Jude Bellingham. A good move for Bellingham. 18 going into 19 now, going off to Madrid.
I think so. I think just him as a whole, I think he's got his head screwed on. For someone so young, he's done so much as well. And to captain, obviously, Dortmund as well has done so much. But I personally think he'll do very well there, May. I was gutted he didn't come to the Premier League because I would have loved to see him in the Premier League. But
you're not the only one with this chat.
I know.
As well for Mark.
He's still got time, Bo, because you think how young he is now. By the time his contract's up there, will he be about 25, 26? So he's still also got time to come to the Premier League. So it's just mental, like how young he actually is and what he's achieved so far.
I can't remember an English player going this young to a major. I mean, obviously he's been at Dortmund, but we saw the likes of Michael Owen, David Beckham's gone out there. A few, Gareth Bale, not English, but British based in terms of transfer fees. But to see him go at this age to be a centrepiece of a team, to take the number 5 the Zinedine Zidane shirt as well, he's going out there with things on his shoulders. And from an England perspective, obviously England are playing tonight, North Macedonia, which I think is still. No, it's just 1-0. Harry Kane has scored. Harry Kane has scored for England.
Stat padding again.
There we go. Another goal. Another 5 million. Daniel Levy's just added on the bill.
Against Macedonia. Keep going.
Absolutely smashed it. This is surely a good thing for England, Lucas Bellingham, over at Real Madrid, European Football Champions League.
I think it's a good thing for England. I do like Bellingham. This is Real Madrid, though. This is another level. So I'm intrigued to see how he does. It's a huge step. And I respect the fact that he's taken it as well. It could have been so much easier. It's a very risky move. It's a difficult move as well. You go to the biggest club in the world, and Real Madrid they're not buying you so you'll be ready in 3 years. They're buying you that you are competing for the first team now. Considering a lot of English players don't go there, and especially his age, I think huge credit for him for taking that move and going for it. So let's see how he does. But it's a big move, and if he steps up straight away and gets into that team, we're looking at an absolute worldie of a player for England for the next decade, especially surrounded by the players he's playing with there, like learning off Modric and things like that for the next year or so.
He's learning off of them, and he's playing in the pressure pit that is Real Madrid every week. That has such demands on him, and if he can rise to it, then oh word, what a player we're going to have on our hands, really, in that centre midfield. And as you said, Modric, Kroos to learn off of. But coming into a team that's got Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Valverde in it, they're not short of a centre midfielder or two either.
Honestly, good competition.
What a unit that is going to be. And so he's obviously gone. It's not the only. So go back to one of the chats. It's not even the biggest Bellingham transfer of the week. They said, of course, Joe Bellingham as well. His brother did not look happy during all the announcements, as if to say, "Where's my love? Come on, where's my tweet graphic for his move this week as well?" So it's a big transfer for Bellingham to Real Madrid. We'll see how it turns out. It's very, very exciting. A player at the other end of his career made a move as well this week was Lionel Messi, who was days away from working under Phil Neville, which would have been the combination that you could only dream of.
Oh my God.
Oh, I wish that happened.
Fantastic. Just Lionel Messi has gone to Inter Miami. The pink was too much for him. Charlotte, Lionel Messi to Inter Miami. Thoughts?
Do you know what? I actually thought he'd go back to Barcelona, because there was a lot of talk, weren't there, about him returning, but I was quite shocked at it. But at the same time, I'm not, because a lot of them do kind of end their careers in like America and things like that, don't they? So I'm not shocked, but at the same time, I did think he would go to Barcelona. I just thought it was like the perfect opportunity to kind of like retire there, but wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't. I think he came out and said, I think he did an apology to Barcelona fans because he wanted to, but he said, I'm just going back to the same situation that I left.
Exactly.
And I get it. You don't want to tarnish your legacy. He's only got to look at Ronaldo and Manchester United a little bit to see how that kind of turned out at the end. He can go back there and be an ambassador and, legend of Barcelona in a few years anyway when he fully retires. But yeah, did you think Messi was possibly Saudi Arabia bound, Lucas? There was
that would have been funny if he followed Ronaldo there. But I wonder if the fact that if Ronaldo wasn't there, he would have gone. Maybe. I
think it's a factor. Got to be.
Yeah, I think he's probably at the point where it's like, I don't want to be competing with Ronaldo again. I don't blame him. It's probably boring for them now. Well, maybe for Messi, maybe not for Ronaldo, but I think there's that added thing of like, if I go over there, I'm going to be compared to Ronaldo, and it's going to follow me over there, and I just want to break from it all. And I don't know if it was a real quote of him saying he's completed Europe. I don't know if that was a real quote. I saw it somewhere, but he kind of has. He's got a World Cup, so yeah, off to MLS. I would like to see him give it another go at Barcelona for a year, but also I'm kind of enjoying Barcelona just being awful in the Champions League. So yeah, good on to him. We need now. Yeah, it's finally they've gone, both of them. They're pretty much off the radar now when it comes to Europe. So the next footballers have to step up.
It's the next phase,
era,
isn't it?
Yeah,
it is the era. The era is starting to move away, with Messi going over to America, and Josh has picked up on a news report on Messi going to America. They said that he should learn English, as I quote, "Even David Beckham learned to speak English, even though he did it with an accent." That's just knowledge of the game, knowledge of the game over there.
Yeah, you have to find some like sportscasters like interviews with Messi or like preview stuff. It's so funny when the American channels do it.
I can imagine it's been fantastic. I mean, has he done the Zlatan Ibrahimovic though and taken out a whole article in the Los Angeles Post or something with "God is here" or something like that when he joined LA Galaxy? We have another goal. We have another goal as well in the England game. Absolute goals. England 2, Macedonia 0, and it is Lucas' boy Bukayo Saka. Saka has made it 2-0 to England.
That'd be his 100th game of the year, surely.
Yeah, he needs to. I am looking at some of these players and just let them have a rest.
I know.
Let them have a rest. It has been a long old year. So Messi is another who's gone, and we will get to some transfer rumours, but we'll start with we'll continue on with some of the more confirmed ones, the ones that have come through. Any others that have caught your eye, Charlotte, in terms of confirmed transfers over the last week that stick out? Apart from Rochdale's big three, obviously.
You know what? I've not really been keeping up to date with it, which has been really, really bad, to be honest, when I should. I'm kind of one of them because there's so many rumours and stuff that's happening as well. I get confused with what's right and what's actually wrong. So I wait till like the opening day when they're all there and I'm like, oh, he's signed for that team. I'm really bad at keeping.
You just need to DM Fabrizio Romano. That's all you need.
I know. I think Spurs signed someone, didn't they? Was it from
Spurs? They've confirmed Kulusevski, haven't they? And David Raya, is on the verge. You had the hilarious quote of "I'm moving because I want to win titles" or something like that.
He said Europe.
He
literally said Europe. He said I want to win in Europe. I was like, you what? Have you been watching the Premier League for the last forever? Like,
yeah. I mean, I think that would be good. I wouldn't mind David Raya. I was disappointed Tottenham worked. I wouldn't mind him coming in. I said, I think
United have messed up there. Really, really badly messed up there, letting him go to Spurs.
I think United in general, I have no idea what they're up to at the minute. The takeover, some of the stuff,
stopped
some
everything,
of the noises,
hasn't it?
They've missed out on that defender as well. He's going
Kim
to Bayern, isn't he?
Yeah.
Kim Min-jae is just too slow.
It's that transfer-free sort of thing, isn't it? When in the last few phases where it looks like there's not enough time to work on it, or things aren't going to get signed off in time, so nothing's going to move. This is the worry with this current situation, is how long it drags out. It's going to stop you from doing any business.
It's going to stop us from doing business. We'll be panicked at the end, which mean we'll overpay like we always do, and it means we won't have the pre-season we need to step to to what we need. And we've got an awful lot of players to move out as well. And this is what we always do: is we'll have a bid on somebody, and then Anthony was like this. We started off at 40 million at Anthony, and I 70, and then we were like, 45, 70, and we did that the whole summer. And then we got to like the end, it was like, all right, we'll pay 70. We're like, it's gone up to 80 now, and it's just our negotiation takes forever as well, because we seem to have a pretty terrible plan. But nothing from United, but an absolute barrage of rumours at the minute, which is constant for Manchester United. But transfers that have happened, of course, James Milner's gone to Brighton. Brighton have done some business. We've got James Milner. João Pedro's gone to Brighton. And there was another. Who's the other one who's gone to Brighton?
The Brazilian striker, João Pedro.
No, the Watford. The Watford guy.
The young one, right?
Yeah, 21.
Oh, he's decent. He is decent.
That's a good little purchase.
That's a good signing.
20 million quid, 11 goals in 31 championship starts. He's a nasty little dribbler as well. I remember
in a well-coached team, he is going to...
On the half turn, he's a nightmare.
That is a fantasy FPL steal waiting to happen. He's going straight in my team next season.
Brighton getting top 4.
João Pedro is going to be a nice 6 million on fantasy football. He goes straight in my team.
He is. He's going to be absolutely superb, João Pedro. And he can play in multiple positions as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got him. You got the experience of James Milner, and they also brought Dahu from Borussia Dortmund as well. He's a fairly experienced player over there as well. So they've gone tripled up on the McAllister money. Obviously, McAllister's gone to Liverpool for 35 million, weighs into 55 million.
Good signing for Liverpool as well, I think. I think that's a great signing for Liverpool, to be fair.
Yeah, sensible. It's good. It's good business. It's good business for Liverpool. Josh is still too busy having arguments about Wales and England in the chat at the minute. We're international football going on at the chat at the minute between Wales and England. Apparently Macedonia they are one of the big teams. I once saw Macedonia draw with England down at St Mary's in 2004. 2-2, the fantastic North Macedonian team. Scored from a corner that day. David Seaman was lobbed from a corner. I remember it well. So Brighton have done some good business. We've had a few. I'm going to scroll back because there was one here I wanted to touch on with Lucas, and it's the transfer he's been waiting to talk about. He's been excited to talk about the rumoured transfer, of course. And Rusty here in the chat, Rusty Shackelford, looking forward to Havertz banging in 3 goals next season, leading the line for the Gunners with the Egyptian Fred and Odegaard pivots. Kai Havertz, Lucas. I think we mentioned it in the chat, and your first response was is this a joke?
I just once when I come on this podcast and have something good to say, like about it was good for a while when we were at top and we were playing well, and then it's back to normal again. I mean, I don't understand football fans. People who watch football these days, I generally don't understand it. It's just not for me anymore, because the stuff I've seen around Kai Havertz and Jorginho in the last 6 months, I'm genuinely confused. I'm starting to just question: is it just me now? Because have I seen the same players from Chelsea for the last few years, or is it just the usual? As soon as they're linked with your club, they're suddenly amazing. Why do only Arsenal fans do this? No other club does this. I mean, Man United is when you're linked with someone, you don't suddenly go. I've literally seen the stuff I've seen is, you know, how everyone is full of stats. Everyone's a stats merchant these days. Kai Havertz hasn't even got any stats. So the stats merchants instead have gone, well, he was a wonder kid at Bayer Leverkusen, so maybe we can bring him back to his potential from when he was at Leverkusen. And it's like any attacker would look bad under Chelsea is the other one I've seen. Of like, he's played under 3 managers at Chelsea in various positions. He played under Thomas Tuchel, who is a better manager than Arteta. I'm sorry, it's the truth. He is, though. Look at his record so far. He's got a Champions League, multiple league titles with different clubs. Sorry, 1 league title. No, he's got PSG and Dortmund. PSG, Dortmund, and a Champions League with Chelsea. He played behind Lukaku when Lukaku came. So that whole thing of he's a number 10, that didn't work, did it? And then he's played under Potter, and I'm sorry, he's garbage. I don't care. You are not going to convince me. I don't care who you are. You are not going to convince me that Kai Havertz coming to Arsenal was a good signing for 60 million.
60. It's the 60 million bit as well, because where does he fit? Where does he play? Who does he go in ahead of? I mean,
I'm all for buying players to compete, but I'm like, okay, well, so you're not buying him as a striker when we need a striker, because clearly he's not a goal scorer. Let's be honest. I think everyone can agree he's not a goal scorer. Okay, so you're buying him as a playmaker, so he's a backup option to Odegaard, right? For 60 million. But we've all seen him 3 years. He's been in the Premier League for 3 years. 3 years he's been in the Prem. I don't understand. And then this whole thing of like, we have a plan. It's like, didn't we go to Chelsea asking for Mason Mount? How have we've gone to Chelsea, inquired about Mason Mount, and come back with Kai Havertz? You have to laugh it off.
And Sam's getting Mason Mount.
And we've been on the phone going, oh, they're talking, so we'll go and get Mason Mount.
It's like Chelsea are our rivals. Why would Chelsea sell us players they think are going to get better? They're going to improve us as a team. They're our rivals. They have never done that in their history of all the business we've done with Chelsea. They've never sold us a player who's going to improve our team because they are our rival. They're literally less than 5 miles away from us in London. Okay, I've ridden my bike there. It's very quick. They are our rivals. Why would they sell us one of their better players? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So you got that on top of it. And then on top of the fact, Chelsea are literally linked with Caicedo for the exact amount of money. So you as Arsenal going, we want Caicedo, but what we're going to do is we're going to give Chelsea the money to buy Caicedo and get one of their players that they don't want anymore, but we'll suddenly buy because he fits in our system for some reason, because he was good at Leverkusen 3 years ago. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'll be happily like wrong. If he comes and he smashes it, I'll be happy wrong. But from what I've seen in the last 3 years, and I'm sure a majority of football fans, apart from Arsenal fans, will agree on this, Kai Havertz for 60 million, absolutely not a chance in hell. No way.
It seems
on 250 grand as well.
250 grand. It seems sabotage. It does seem that someone's trying to sabotage. You said Caicedo for 60 million to Chelsea.
Just go get him. If you got 60 million to spend, just go get Caicedo.
It makes I can't understand it. I can't. And as you said, unless there's some genius plan that the rest of us don't see, that is going to integrate somehow into him. So FMFO, Jesus Havertz, guaranteed nearly goals, absolutely. Chris doesn't rate Havertz.
We're playing a dangerous game here. Like we're not. We need like box-to-box midfielders, DMs, and we need a goal scorer. Havertz doesn't tick any of the boxes of the players that we need for our team. So why are we spending 60 million on him? Look, to be very fair, he's not the worst player in the world. Let's not get twisted. He's not awful. Okay, it's just very easy to banter him just because of how good he was good at Leverkusen. To be fair to him, like he was quality. And when they signed him, I did think they had a good player. But he's coming to the Premier League and he's not done anything to show that he can make it in this league. So that's where I'm kind of like, I'm not saying Havertz is a crap player, but he's just not. I don't see the logic behind this signing. I really don't. When you've got that amount of money to spend, there are other gaps that you need to fill. So I'm just confused by it.
That amount of money,
yeah.
And what you're trying to get, Arsenal fans surely this summer are going, right, we came so close. What you want to see is how do we take the step? How do we take the step? So your transfers are under even more scrutiny because you're going, the guys that need to come in need to close the gap. And Havertz is a step back because that 60 million is going to be spent on him that can't be spent somewhere else where you need it.
Exactly.
You need to be able to do it.
Especially, I think you've been linked with Declan Rice as well, and with his price tag.
That would be your summer.
Blank check, because I generally believe Declan Rice will be the best signing Arteta would have made in his reign if we signed him. So I'm like, blank check it. There's money there. Look, there's money there, and there should be money there if you let players leave. But you go and give Eddie Nketiah 100 grand a week. You give Reece Nelson 100 grand a week. I don't want to be pessimistic, but can no one else see what's going on here with our wage structure and things that are happening? Because if you give backup players not even backup players, fringe players 100 grand a week, that's the minimum now. So when William Saliba comes in, William Saliba goes, well, I want 300 grand because he's on 100. No one, if you're a first team, you're coming to a first team, 100 is so we're already, our wage structure is already going, that Eddie Nketiah deal was set. It's set a minimum sort of like a floor to the wages that we offer to back up players. So it's a dangerous precedent. Then you go and get Kai Havertz on 250 grand a week, and you're talking about him being a backup to Odegaard. So when Odegaard goes to renew, why wouldn't Odegaard ask for 400 grand or 350 grand a week? Why would it Odegaard? So like I said, it's not my money. I don't really get, but we're in a dangerous game here, and the young players. That's the thing of young players. Like, they're not going to retire in 3 years. Or to be fair, they might go to the Saudi league in 3 years.
Or maybe that's the answer.
But they're not going to retire. Like, they're not going to retire. When you offer players, entering their 30s, a big, like we did with Ozil and Aubameyang, there's 3 years and then they're gone. Or, you get them off. You offer someone at 24 years old 250 grand a week.
You get stuck with them.
You're stuck.
You got the scenario Man United had with Phil Jones, with Chris Smalling. We give them all long-term contracts and we couldn't move them on. And then when you do move them on, you have to take a cheap price because there's only a few that will pay the wages.
And then they're paying most of it. So, yeah, Kai Havertz, I just don't see it. I don't see it. At least with Jorginho is don't get me wrong, he stinks as well. But at least with Jorginho, I got it. I was like, okay, well, you're getting a DM because we need a DM. Wouldn't have been my choice, wouldn't have been my top 10 choice, but I understand because he's a DM and he's played in the league and we needed a DM. And to be fair to Jorginho, he came in and he did all right. He wasn't bad. He did all right. But this one, I'm like, what the hell? Like, like you said, where does Kai Havertz go in our system? I've seen people saying he's gonna play where Xhaka played. It's a box to box.
It's a box to box. You're going to have to change the system, and I think this is where it's interesting. I mean, Lisa in the chat saying she loves Decky. You can see Declan Rice and how it would fit in. And as Josh says, Rice in Partey out. I guess the issue is if it's Partey and Xhaka, your whole midfield's changed, isn't it? So I guess maybe everything else has to change if your whole midfield changes.
Thomas Partey has literally been our best player for the last. Outside Thomas Partey, Bukayo Saka are key players for the last 2-3 seasons, I'd say, or 2 seasons definitely. Those two, that's the core. Partey, Saka, and you can throw in probably Saliba / Gabriel in there now as our core. Is like these guys you have to build the team around. I know Partey's 30, so the whole point of getting Declan Rice in was we needed cover and also someone to supplement Thomas Partey, or if we needed him to rotate him. So if you get rid of Partey and you bring Declan Rice, we're back to square one again. Because what happens if Declan Rice gets injured or we need to rotate him? So you don't understand this. This is the same thing that Arsenal have been doing. They were doing under Wenger. You're always 1 or 2 pieces away from actually being able to win a league or a Champions League. You sign a Partey to go along, a Declan Rice to go alongside Thomas Partey. You don't sell one and then bring in the other one, because then where's the squad depth? It's not your building squad depth at all. No. I don't get it. Like, I'm not happy about if we sell Thomas Partey. Like, I don't. And then you're right. Him and Xhaka going in the same window is pretty risky. It's very risky. So as much as I rate Declan Rice, he is joining a new club. So, there'll be an element of him getting up to speed with. But yeah, it's those are 2 senior players as well in the midfield. It's very risky. But listen, If Arteta wants him, then I want him. Apparently, that's what you got to do these days. You don't have to think for yourself as a football fan. You have to just go along with everything.
You have to just follow
madness.
it. You have to trust
follow the crowd.
The process. That's what. That's the.
You got to just follow the crowd. Yeah, not me. I don't care what it says. You got to have your opinions at the end of the day. You still support the club, but you're entitled to your own opinion. And for me, this Kai Havertz, I don't know what we're doing in the window at the moment. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. You can back your club, and you can even love your manager, but you can disagree with things. That's part and parcel of it. You're never going to agree with everything that there's Man City fans out there, I'm sure, tearing their hair out at some decisions Pep made last season, and they're sat there with a treble.
Yeah.
So it's just the nature of the beast. So I do think you lose Xhaka and Partey. Even if you get Declan Rice, you said there's a bedding in period, and I don't think Arsenal can afford to start slowly next season because the whole goodwill and everything else will just turn. Champions League will come. Suddenly you're under pressure in the league. Arteta's under immense pressure. You've spent big money as well. It's it could be very, very tricky.
Need a good start, especially with domestic cups flying in. If we get injuries as well from the beginning or players into the preseason, dangerous game they're playing. You need to build some squad depth and keep hold of the players from last season and go again. But yeah, I'm not for Kai Havertz. Bring in Declan Rice, another goal scorer, and we need a right back and a centre back, to be honest.
That's quite a bit to get done if you've gone 60 on Havertz and 100 on Rice, isn't it? Depending, say, if Partey does go, there's a fee there. If it's Saudi Arabia, there's definitely a fee there. So you see where it goes. And there's plenty of players available, though, on the cheap. And one thing I've seen so far, there's a lot of free transfers about. There's a lot of people that have left contracts and are sat about, names within Europe, probably as expected, most of them towards the end of their career. People like Roberto Firmino, people like Eden Hazard's just gone off on a free, isn't he? Has there been a bigger deterioration? My word.
I think it's number one. It might be the biggest I've seen.
I can't see someone that's flopped that bad. Madrid have got a very high standard, but they booed Modric in his first season when he went over there. They thought Modric was trash.
Hazard was generally just as if his footballing ability was just disappeared overnight, literally like Space Jam. His ability was just stolen from him.
It was. They stole his talent.
Sergio Ramos. Honestly, I would take Sergio Ramos on a free as a backup. Just get him in the dressing room. Get Sergio Ramos in the dressing room.
I love Sergio Ramos.
Throw him in a few FA Cup games, a couple Champions League group games. Get him in. Why not?
Someone like Sergio Ramos could do a job. You've got Rafael Guerreiro of Borussia Dortmund, 29 years old.
He's a fullback, actually.
He's a fullback. He could be useful to be added in there. Phil Jones, of course. How did I miss him? The legend that's available. Lucas Moore has just gone off of Tottenham. Adrian Rabiot's gone on a free. He's available.
Rabiot as well.
Milan Skriniar. Well, we were last season, yeah. Skriniar's going to PSG, I think. But, Rabiot we were linked to.
Rabiot would be decent as well, especially if we're getting rid of Xhaka. I like Rabiot. I'd take him at Arsenal. I think United should be all over that as well. But
I think now he's on a free. Yeah, I think now that Casemiro's in, I wouldn't want him as the guy, but as a squad, a bit like what we had as Sabitzer. You need that, and it showed in the FA Cup final how much we missed a player that could do that, could get about a little bit. I don't think he's going to necessarily take us the step we need to take, but I think you need people like that around the squad. So I wouldn't be opposed to getting him on free on a reasonable.
He's a very, very talented footballer, Rabiot. I think it's just, if you can get him motivated,
he comes with some baggage, doesn't he? That's the only thing.
He does, yeah. It's quite but I think, if you get him in the right system and you can get him motivated, it's a good player. It's a good player, like good on the ball, good passing, late runs in the box. There's a good player there. I just think it's there's a lot off the ball stuff, and his attitude is a bit questionable, but
it can be a bit questionable.
Worth the risk.
People like that when they're free. And Marcus Thuram's another one as well. But Borussia Mönchengladbach, he's got an assist in the World Cup final. He's on a free, 25 years old.
Liverpool all over that, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're after both Thuram's, aren't they? They want the younger brother, the Kefren.
Yeah,
they're both Lilian Thuram's sons, aren't they? He's playing in Nice, so he's one of the few that Liverpool are looking at in midfield, I believe. And as I mentioned in the chat, I'll come to you, Charles. What do you think about this one? David De Gea is not on Manchester United's retain list. Now, I've got some thoughts on this because I think every Man United has some thoughts on this. What do you think about David De Gea? Is it time for Man United to move on from David De Gea, or do you try and sign him up? What do you do about him?
I think I think the only problem with United, if we've seen it before, it's as if they're too loyal to the people, like obviously Phil Jones, who have been there for a while. It's as if they are too loyal to them. And I think as much as David De Gea has been a good keeper, I think it's now time to move on, because as we've seen, he can't play with his feet, can he? Now a goalkeeper has to play with the feet. That's part and parcel of the game, especially in Premier League. Obviously, you've got Champions League now. I think it could be a decent number 2, but I just think United have got to move on now, because I think we've seen it too many times where obviously Phil Jones, Juan Matters and people like that, where they've been too loyal to them. And I think we just need to get into that mode now where it's time to move on. You've been there for us. You've been a legend kind of thing. We've had you so many years, but now's the time, because I think if we do keep him maybe an extra couple of seasons, I know a lot of United fans are on his back, and you don't really want it to end sour, because he has been a good servant to you, hasn't he, to be fair?
He has. He's been a phenomenal... he's been in a team at times that has been terrible. It's been terrible. He's been the difference for us at times of 10 points or so in a different team that was playing a different way. And as we've discovered over the past few years in particular, where we're trying to evolve as a team, particularly under Ten Hag and playing out, it doesn't evolve. Now, if he's making wonder save after wonder save, which at times he did last season, and I know people point to the biggest, most clean sheets last season was David De Gea. That's a defence as well. That's linked to other things. And he did make some amazing saves. He's still got that in him. There's still those saves. He also makes big errors too at times.
A lot of mistakes,
some mistakes. There's always been some question marks over the control of his box, whether he's got the command in the box, sometimes susceptible from crosses. And that's not to have a knock on how brilliant he's been. Just think now, again, you're trying to reach that next level. You've got to be potentially looking for something else. As Chris says, massive salary has always been my issue with De Gea.
Yeah.
350,000 or something bonkers, I think he's on. And they did the same with Dean Henderson. They gave Dean Henderson a crazy contract. So we had 2 of the 5 highest paid goalkeepers in the league. You can only bloody play one of them. And Henderson's got a very big opinion of himself as well. So that was never going to work as a number 2. They're always going to clash. They've got to make a call. You get rid of De Gea, you've obviously got to bring something else in. You've got to decide what you're going to do.
I think you've been linked with, is it
Onana? Yeah, Onana. What's my name?
Ryan as well. Yeah. That's what I was going to do. I was trying to stop myself from going, Onana.
That's the guy. And you could. I just think if we want to go the way that Ten Hag wants to go, and their keeper playing has been so, and in, case in point was the FA Cup final in a massive way, cannot continue to give the ball back to teams like Man City.
Yeah,
you'd Casemiro 5 yards from him, and De Gea's looking around, and then playing these floaty balls up to Rashford, and just going, what are you? In what world are you ever going to keep possession that way against Ruben Diaz up his arse, or Stones sitting in front of him to pick those off? It's bonkers. So. Yeah, I mean, Onana's one that's a possibility, but I can never tell with Man United transfers because we are literally linked to absolutely everybody.
I've honestly seen that you've been linked to Emi Martinez, Jordan Pickford. You were linked to Raya. Literally everyone you've been linked to.
Yeah, Gordon Banks probably. Everybody that's ever played a goal.
Honestly, there'll be all these names, and just you watch. You'll offer him like this like record deal or something.
We'll sign De Gea on a 500 grand a week or something or other. Or we'll go and sign someone's. We'll go and take Ben Foster off a Wrexham again or something last minute because we'll be in an absolute panic. Who knows how it's all going to turn out in the end with David De Gea. I think the time is right to move on. But United have got so many problems to fix, and as we said earlier, until the takeover's sorted, I just don't know what we're doing or where we're going. So that's what Man United are doing. In terms of other clubs, Manchester City's big one is probably Ilkay Gundogan at the minute. With it seems to be that he wants to move on. Do you think he's going to go, Lucas? Do you see a big problem for them if he does?
To Barcelona. Yeah, I think he'll go. I wonder if he would have signed the contract by now if he was staying. So I think he's set for Barcelona, Gundogan. And no, I don't think it'll be a problem. He's come in very clutch for them in the last couple of seasons, but I think in Pep's thing is all about the system. It's all about the system. I mean, there's individuals in that system who are outstanding performers, but nobody was looking at. I mean, Bernardo Silva was a talent until he joined Man City, and everyone was like, "This guy's one of the best midfielders in the world." So I've no doubts that Pep has got 2 or 3 players lined up, and we won't hear anything about it. It would just be announced.
It'll be boom. There you go. 30,
I look at Akanji, right? It's for like 10, 15 million.
There was nothing about Akanji.
Nothing.
And the only one we've heard of
Kovacic. There you go.
Kovacic,
He's been linked,
straight swap.
Straight swap in. That could be one that potentially is going to happen.
Kovacic at Man City as well. Like, people forget how good that guy is because he's always injured, but he's a very, very good footballer.
It could link it perfectly.
I've heard a link as well with. I know, obviously, we said Arsenal, but Declan Rice has been linked to him as well.
Oh, that was
that's like a late.
I could see that as well.
I could see it. I think there was an interview with Big Sam actually, because he's obviously got plenty of things to do now. He's taken Leeds down. And they were asking him about it, and he sort of said Man City as if he kind of like wink, wink, nod, nod. I know something kind of in the background. I wouldn't be. Yeah, he would fit. He would fit what they're trying to do. You could see it. They've obviously. I will come to the other stuff on Man City in a minute, but I've got to bring this up from Lisa. This is phenomenal. She thought when we were talking about Onana that we said banana. Manchester, yep. A goalkeeper called Banana would be something absolutely superb. It's a classic. Back to Manchester City. One that's come a little bit out of left field, but the more I think about it, the more it kind of makes sense. So Charles been tickled by Banana there. Kyle Walker to Bayern Munich.
I saw that.
Now, one at first I thought, whoa, and then when you look into it and you go, okay, 33, not happy with playing time, 1 year left on his contract. It's the kind of deal that Manchester City do when they get rid of players, and it sounds like it might happen. Kyle Walker to Bayern, Lucas. Happening?
Good move for both, I think. To get some money in. And yeah, I think Man City, there's a lot of teams that are going to have a load of players shifting, I think, on average, in terms of you're looking at the top 6, you even throw in Newcastle in there. It's a big window for a lot of teams. And I think Man City are including that. They just won a treble, but like I said, they've got aging players. They've had quite a lot of these players are from the core of Pep's team. Yeah. They've been there for a while. And, he mentioned early on about refreshing. I think the treble is a nice end for a lot of these players. The era at Man City. So players like Walker, Gundogan, potentially even like a Bernardo Silva, even a De Bruyne, wouldn't shock me if that happened. I mean,
I think De Bruyne's, this or next summer, I do think, because his injuries are starting to pile up as well.
Yeah, exactly. And, Pep's shown already that he's not a first name on the team sheet at all, where, to be fair with Pep, there's only like 3 players who are the first name on the team sheet anyway, and then one of them's the goalkeeper. So I wouldn't surprise me with the players that move from Man City, but I think Pep is going to want to refresh things quite significantly this season. And Kyle Walker, Gundogan, that's just the 2, but I do think there's a big one going, either Bernardo Silva. I think Bernardo Silva, it does look like he might be on the way out. I think PSG want him. There's interest from the Saudi League. Who else is there? They've got to get Alvarez integrated into the team as well. I mean, Alvarez is just there, ready to play more games. So it's not like that. Mahrez is going to be probably going to go. I think isn't he going on free?
Mahrez is another. Saudi,
Laporte.
Laporte. Is Cancelo was only a loan, wasn't it, to buy?
Cancelo, I think they definitely want to get rid of.
He's definitely
not carrying on. Do you know I'm a bit like that about as well? What do you think will happen with Calvin Phillips? Do you think he'll give him a chance, or do you think he'll kind of...
Well, this was the other part of the Big Sam rumour. This was the other Big Sam rumour he was saying.
He's part of the offer, isn't he?
He's part of the offer. It was going to be a Calvin Phillips back to West Ham.
That would,
which I could see. I mean, that would work for me, I think.
That's a better deal for West Ham. I think it was 70 million with Calvin Phillips versus the 100 or so they're asking from Arsenal. And I think if I'm West Ham, I take the 70 plus a player easily, especially a player that we need.
Yeah, exactly. A player in that position, and then you've got 70 million to spend, plus that sweet Europa Conference League money, I'm sure, as well.
Oh my God. If you're Declan Rice, who do you actually go to? Because again, a lot of people saying he wants to stay in London. I'm like, it's Man City. They just won a treble.
And his best mate's moving to Manchester.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
it's the best team in the world.
You can't have a Manchester derby, Declan Rice versus Mason Mount, and a Manchester derby.
Oh yeah, exactly. Come on. the best team in the world with the best manager in the world.
Exactly.
And those saying, right, if he comes to Arsenal, is he even guaranteed to start every game? With that money, I mean, depending on system, unless he goes straight into where Xhaka is, yeah, fair enough. I think he actually will. Yeah, to be honest, I think he has to start. He'll be next to Partey, which is depends on what we do. One of them's gonna have to be a bit more progressive. I think they can both do that. To be honest,
I think Rice can do
carrier.
that.
Yeah,
Rice started to do that at times for West Ham when he was
a great ball carrier, actually. Yeah, so I think give him the license. But then at Man City, I don't think it's necessary that he goes on the bench at Man City because they're playing this 2 DM system now. Stones is playing there, but I don't think Stones isn't the permanent option for that role. If Declan Rice comes to Man City, I think Stones goes back into centre back, and Declan Rice plays next to Rodri, and we will witness Man City win the Premier League for the next 10 years.
Well, particularly if Kyle Walker's going as well, then that's another kind of centre back spot that you're losing a challenger for. Laporte being another one. You drop Stones back.
Stones, Diaz, and Kanji, or Stones, Diaz, Ake. You probably get another one in. And then you got Declan Rice. I'm just trying to get through Declan Rice and Rodri in that team.
With Stones pushing up.
And then you got another 3 centre-backs right behind.
Then you've got Ruben Diaz in there. And, and if you put them under pressure trying to close them down, they'll just go long to the mountain that sits up front.
For the sake of football, Arsenal, we need to do this deal. We need to get Declan Rice in for the sake of football.
We need to get a petition.
We need to get everyone just needs all other like 18 teams need to crowdfund it and band together.
Premier League 11. We're just going to fund one of the teams as a Premier League 11.
We'll give you a percentage of his shirt sales as payment. If he goes to Man City in the end, I mean, I'll be fuming because that's definitely our top target gone. And then also, I mean, Matt, that's significant strength for Man City.
Yeah, we need to not let this happen. I'll get the EFL and National League involved.
Yeah, gotta block it somehow. Just I don't know.
This domination is crazy. And talking of domination, we missed a couple of goals in the England game. We've got 4-0. England, what a goal from Saka, apparently. An absolute beauty for Saka. And it's also 5-0. And I believe it's Saka again. Saka is having a great time out there. A hat-trick for Bukayo Saka. It's 5-0. I thought Macedonia aren't that... They're not, they're in a mid-tier, I thought. They're as bad as I think. I thought a few years ago that they beat Italy, didn't they? They beat Italy, knocked Italy out.
That was when Italy just couldn't be bothered to qualify. That was the qualifiers, wasn't it?
I'm trying to big up.
That happens from one to time, but that's like when Sheriff beat Real Madrid in the Champions League. Like it's
Sheriff.
They're basically the international Sheriff. Is Macedonia. Who's the other team? Belarus. Who are the other ones that we always play the stat pad against? Is Macedonia, and there was one that's always in our group.
Always used to have
Montenegro.
Montenegro, Montenegro, Poland.
Macedonia, Belarus, and like those teams. Estonia, no. It's
hard to get excited about these qualifiers. I mean, I've even forgot the Nations League was on. It was the semi-final and the final the other day.
I generally didn't know football was on tonight until we got on the podcast and we were saying England were playing. I was like, oh, really? And then I saw Macedonia. I was like, yeah, forget that.
But this is it. It's now the 19th of June. There's games, I presume, tomorrow and Wednesday as well. They'll be back in pre-season in like 3 weeks. They're not away.
It's ridiculous. They've barely got a break.
After the World Cup, I would have thought that this round of fixtures, they could have found a different way of doing it or some up. But no, they've got to get it in.
End the next week. Some teams go back to pre-season, right?
Yeah. If you're in the early rounds of the European leagues and, you got to start Champions League and that, you've got to prepare because I think there's early July those start.
Qualifiers, right? Yeah. I think Aston Villa, they're going to have to play qualifiers, right? Or Brighton. It'll be Villa. Brighton came 5th, didn't they?
Yeah, it will be Villa.
Yeah,
Villa will have to play qualifiers. So yeah,
Villa are one that have done some business already. They've got Yuri Tielemans has joined in midfield.
Great signing.
Great little free transfer for Yuri Tielemans in there.
And did I hear Oxlade-Chamberlain to Villa?
Possibly.
I've heard that rumor. Yeah.
I heard as well that they had Tammy Abraham lined up before he did his injury.
Oh, that would actually
really.
I could see that.
Tammy Abraham and Watkins up front was the plan. As what the
that would actually be that would be menacing.
That would be a front two. With
Oxlade-Chamberlain one was a bit odd because the injury, but again, he's a great player if he stays fit, and that's a huge if.
It's a huge if, and there's probably one area because they usually play what Bailey and Buendia, don't they, as options, and So there's no one there that you kind of go, they're going to start every week. So an Oxlade-Chamberlain to mix in amongst
He
that.
offers. He's still not. He's what is he? 20, 29, 28, 29. It's if he fixes his injuries. I mean, he was a great player. I really liked him when he was at Arsenal, but the injuries. I mean, it's years and years of injuries. So how is it suddenly going to change? But on a free, it's relatively low risk.
Yeah. It's a possibility, and so they're getting their stuff done early. Chris says, pre-season for Rochdale's in 2 weeks, but do you have many North Macedonian players, Charlotte, to worry about?
No, but we've got like an international superstar now. What we got from Notts County, but no one rates him. All the players we've signed, everyone's been like, "Oh yeah, you're going to get relegated again." So
oh my God!
Aren't you second favourites in the bookies though? The bookies are well behind you.
What, to get promoted?
I know. I don't know who's put the money on us, but we're definitely. I don't think we are. We are. But who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Football's a funny game. So Villa were one that have done some interesting stuff as well. Just looking to see if there's any other interesting rumours before we go.
Have any of the teams coming up done anything good?
Luton have done nothing. Sheffield United have done nothing. Burnley are trying to. I know that they've secured their centre back because a lot of their deals were loan deals, weren't they?
Yeah.
So Jordan Bayer's come in on a loan.
Oh, they want Lokonga as well.
There's someone
else.
Which
I think on loan. Fair enough.
They've secured up Michael Obafemi as well. They had a bid rejected for the left back, Ian Matson. Chelsea rejected a bid for him. And they are also struggling to get Nathan Tello over the line as well. So half of this is trying to turn their loans into permanents, apparently. But I've not seen Sheffield United do anything yet.
I know they were linked as well. Obviously, it probably won't go there because he's linked with Bayern. But obviously, Kyle Walker, because is he from Sheffield or something? So I think there was a link there, but nothing's come of it. I think it's just the usual, like, people saying, "Oh, he's going back to his hometown."
Put two and two together, yeah. Fill the column inches with He used to play there. He might go there. So no, I think they've been quiet and obviously need to do some things. But it is still early. To be fair. I'm just going to go down my list and see if there's anybody else that's worth mentioning. An interesting one is popped up with a few players. Palace have signed Jefferson Lerma.
Oh yes, from Bournemouth.
Yeah, which they all know about. Yeah, and I think Bournemouth's. I think Head will correct me if I'm wrong. I think they secured up a permanent deal for Hamed Traore. I think the guy they had on loan as well. So I think they spent that money already, pretty much. Well, they've not spent it because Lerma was a free. So
did Palace end up getting a new manager yet?
No, they haven't.
They've not got him on yet.
No,
who are Palace going to go for?
I know that.
I think we said before someone like a Hasenhüttl would make sense, didn't
we did, didn't we? Yeah.
Would be a good one. I mean, who else is about now, I guess? Gary O'Neill.
They're interested in Balogun. Palace, which I think would be... I want to give Balogun a run at Arsenal.
Yeah, to Arsenal give him... But I think he said he wants to play, doesn't he? He said, I don't want to be second. He's already come out and said the other day he definitely doesn't want a loan deal.
No, he wants to be in and around the first team. He'll get games if he's second choice, but the problem is Nketiah. If he comes in and like you're competing with Nketiah for second, he's going to be like, why would he be like, what are you talking about? I just scored nearly 20 goals in my first loan and first like team that I went on loan to and was starting. So I think he'll push a move, which is a shame because he's a good player.
He's a talent. And there's some good suggestions coming for managers in the chat. Josh has gone for, of course, Neil Warnock.
Good Lord, no.
He hadn't signed his
Palace getting relegated.
Huddersfield deal. And another wants Palace. And Heather wants Palace to get relegated with Scotty Parker.
Graham Potter.
Graham Potter's going to do something. I think he's going to take a break and just wait and see for this chaos to kind of... And some club that makes sense will emerge. Somewhere.
Brendan Rodgers, the decent option, but I think he's going back to Celtic.
He's gone.
He's pretty much done. Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers is Celtic.
I don't know for Palace. They might have to look. They might have to look a bit further afield. Maybe Will Still.
Will Still would be someone's going to take a punt on him.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone's having a go.
Have I heard it right as well? Has Enrique gone to PSG?
That's about to happen, I think.
Is it about to happen?
Unless it's happening, yeah. I saw someone said they were looking at Arteta for PSG.
Yeah, they tried to talk to him, didn't they? And that he turned them down. Yeah.
But yeah, Enrique makes sense.
Yeah.
He's been out of job a little while, hasn't he, as well, Enrique? A couple of years.
What? No, World Cup. He was at Spain.
Oh, yeah, of course he was.
Yeah.
Not that long.
But club, he's definitely been out for a while.
Yeah. Because I was kind of thinking he'd go to Chelsea. Obviously, we got Poch, but I thought he would have been all right for Chelsea.
Yeah,
could have been a possibility. Nathan Jones has been mentioned in the chat as well, and I don't know what this is related to, but at least it says Holloway should go back to Blackpool. I don't know where that's come from, but I completely agree. Holloway is box office. He's absolutely box office. He's a classic. I think that's it. The only other one I wanted to mention as well, because I think he's been linked with a few players as well, and there's a lot of talk about him down here with Southampton. Romeo Lavia is one that Arsenal is another who's been linked with. Technical, decent midfielder as well. Potentially available at a cheaper price than you're going to get for some other ones as well. Liverpool are another name, I think, but I think he's behind a few others in their list in terms of options. He's another one that's been touted to a few people. Yeah, I think as much as I know,
backup option when Rice goes to Man City.
It could well be. That's when you start. That's when you know when you start getting. You get to the Man United stages of the panic of the last, and then Wout Weghorst. Has anyone got Wout Weghorst's number? Then you get into those kind of dramatics on your last week.
I just don't want Rice to go to Man City. We need to stop this. I'm sorry. We need to stop it.
No, I know everyone's like absolutely loving the Jack Grealish stuff, and it's all great. Imagine Rice with there as well, and it's just like this signing with the devil.
We will have to do what we do with PSG in the table and just cut Man City off. We just have to cut them off.
Actually, yeah.
A battle for a second. It's sad, isn't it? It's sad.
It's sad.
Never. Maybe not. Maybe something will happen.
We need the charges to kick in.
Yeah. This is what's annoying me, because a lot of the stuff, like when they're talking about United as well, is that they're saying, "Well, they've got to be careful because of FFP." I was like, "Why does it matter?" We can take a charge. They've got 115 of them. I'm sure we've got a lower that can deal with one charge. Nightmare. Heather would take Weghorst. Of course she would. Absolutely fantastic. Weghorst down at Bournemouth. You'd have a lovely time with him. Not sure he's going to suit your new manager's style of play, however, but Weghorst is a legend. So transfer-wise, I think that's as much as I can think of, as much as I'd written down beforehand, unless anything's happened more on the podcast. If there's anything else in the chat, do come up quickly, and then we can maybe have a quick chat about it. But I did have, before we go, a little quiz, because we have ended the season, but there are still...
I'm so bad at quizzes, so this could be funny. This could be comedy gold.
Well, the good news is, for this one, you get to band together. You become a team for this, because you can work together. And points in this game mean absolutely nothing, but you get points anyway, because I feel like it. So this is the top five quiz from the Premier League last season top fives. And there's 5 of them, because 5's a good number. Starting off, very simple. This one, I think you'll get a lot of this. The top 5 goal scorers from 1 to 5 in the Premier League last season.
Dude, just shout them out.
Just shout them out. Try and go in order to start with for this easy one.
Erling Braut Haaland.
Yeah.
Just about, 36 goals.
Was Kane second?
Kane was second.
With 30 goals, yeah.
I think
Ivan Toney.
Toney.
Ivan Toney was third with 20.
Here it gets tricky.
Was Salah in there somewhere?
Salah was fourth with 19. Almost a clean sweep. 1 to go.
19. Bloody hell.
He snuck
and then
late,
the last one, it wasn't anyone at Arsenal. Mitro was near there, but I think he dropped.
Yeah.
Mitro might be around like 15, 16. Watkins was close. Watkins.
Not Watkins.
Was it a City player?
Nope.
was it a Tottenham? I'm joking.
It was a top 6 player.
Original top 6 or top 6 isn't finished in the top 6?
Was Rashford
finished in the top 6?
Oh, Rashford, yeah.
No, Rashford's just outside, yeah.
Oh.
Rashford just outside. Saka's just outside. Not Saka. Odegaard was 15.
Not Odegaard.
So it's not Odegaard. So someone who would have been on 16, 17. Or... How many goals were they on?
18. 18 goals, Sky got.
18 goals. It's not Mitrovic.
It's not Mitrovic. Someone's got it in the chat.
Was it Wilson? Really?
Callum Wilson.
Wilson.
Callum Wilson.
Oh, no
Callum
way.
Wilson.
I didn't think
ended
he got
up
that many.
with 18 goals. Yeah,
No
there
way.
you go. Callum Wilson made it, and I thought
Good amount of Premier League goal scorers at the top goals this season, wasn't there?
it was good. I thought I timed it perfectly as well because England had just scored, and I was thinking, if this is Callum Wilson, I tell you, this is going to be epic. But it was Calvin Phillips. It was somebody we talked about. England are 6-0 up. So Callum Wilson got 18 goals. Yeah. I think because he kept coming on and nicking goals, didn't he, late on in games and the back end of it wasn't always starting games. But right, next one's a bit harder actually. The top 5 save percentages for goalkeepers in the Premier League. So this is goalkeepers that, not including the ones that only played once or twice. This is like permanent style goalkeepers. Top 5.
Alisson.
No.
Was Raya in it?
David Raya. Top
Yeah.
77.7%.
Jake Steele. Was that his name? The Brighton keeper.
I don't think it's Jake, but he's not in there either, no.
Was Nick Pope?
Nick Pope, yeah, 4th.
Nice.
74.6%, yeah.
Ramsdale.
No, Aaron Ramsdale, no.
Who else had? Oh, Brentford. Oh, we rested Raya, didn't we?
Yeah, we said Raya. We
Raya
said
and
Pope.
Brighton. What's Brighton's other goalkeeper called?
Sanchez.
No.
No, not him
No.
either.
I know we said about clean sheets for De Gea, but was De Gea in there? No.
No,
No.
not for save percentages. No, there's no
Edison.
David De Gea. No Edison.
Oh wow, save percentages.
Second surprised me. To be fair,
Lloris.
Second really surprised me. No,
Oh, thank God. Pickford. Oh yeah, Pickford.
no
Oh no,
Pickford.
they can see it too many. Who's Palace's Guaita?
Nope.
Guita.
Peter, no.
I don't know who's Fulham's.
Oh, Leno.
Fulham's.
Yes, Leno will be in there.
Bernd Leno was
Yes.
Leno, yes.
77.1% save ratio.
So we've got 3 of them.
Neto, one of them.
Yes, there is the chat. I've been screaming Neto at you, Lucas. Neto, I say you got it. It was picked up by Chris Whitting had Neto, and someone else had Neto. Heather had Neto. So everyone does that. She would know.
Yeah.
74.6% third place. That just leaves 5th.
5th.
Dean Henderson. No chance.
Not Dean Henderson.
Who? It's not West. It's not Fabianski. No way.
If I said to you, Shah, doing as a celebration.
Emi Martinez.
Oh yeah.
Yes!
Doing
I love him.
Emi Martinez at 74.2%.
Totally forgot about Emi Martinez.
Yeah.
Emi Martinez, forever in the history of the game.
Doing an Emi Martinez.
Doing an Emi Martinez. So next we move into disciplinary. This one might be tricky. Most yellow cards this season. Top 5.
In there.
And
Yeah,
no, he'll be red. He'd be red.
Here's a red. And to be honest, 4th, we've got top is on 14, then we've got 2 on 12, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players for 4. So we'll just see how many we can get.
Is Mitrovic in there?
Nope, no Mitrovic.
Probably because red cards.
He missed a number of yellows because of his ban, I think. Same as Casemiro. No Rodri, no.
No Rodri. There's definitely a City player in there, isn't there? Those tactical fouls, surely.
No. They get away with it, don't they? They don't get booked for them, do they?
Luke Shaw.
No, I thought Luke Shaw would be there, but no.
I think who gets booked?
Bruno Fernandes.
No.
Who gets booked for Arsenal? Gabriel?
No, Gabriel, no.
Eric Dyer.
No, not Eric Dyer.
No way.
Got to be some DMs, surely.
Yeah, DMs it's DM heavy.
Douglas Luiz.
No Douglas Luiz.
Jefferson Lerma.
No, Jefferson Lerma, no.
Ruben Neves.
Ruben Neves was joint second.
Oh,
at 12.
there we go.
Yep, there's 1.
Mate, I'm struggling with this one.
Kovacic.
No.
How many are
DMs? In the
DMs?
chat that are incorrect as well. So Chris has gone for Declan Rice, no. White, no. Neto, no. DMs, you've got. He's a DM. So 2 DMs, 2 CMs, and a couple of fullbacks.
A couple of fullbacks.
Is
Kieran
Andy
Trippier.
Robertson one?
No, not Trippier, not Andy Robertson, no.
Dan Burn.
No, not Dan Burn, no.
This is so hard.
Thomas Partey.
Not Thomas Partey, no. Still got
Souček.
number one, and clearly out of number one as well. Not Souček, no.
Fabinho. That's a good shout.
Fabinho,
Yeah.
joint 4, Fabinho.
Yeah.
Simon was right with that one. Fabinho.
So that's the 2 DMs done.
That's what you got one more DM and more like 2 centre midfielders. A centre back and 2 fullbacks.
Ndidi.
Not Ndidi.
I'm completely gone.
I'll start giving you
Ericsson.
Not Ericsson. One of them surprised me because I wouldn't have thought he played enough, but he apparently did.
Thiago.
Not Thiago, no.
Conor Gallagher.
Conor Gallagher, yeah. He was joint 4th.
Just running
11.
around like a headless chicken.
Yeah. We've got one in the chat. Heather's picked up in the chat. Adam Smith. 11. Yeah.
Renan Lodi.
No.
Oh. Who's the right back for Forest? Awful player.
Which one?
Doesn't narrow it down, does it? The plays for Ivory Coast, used to play for Spurs, PSG. Oh, Joe Linton's a good shout.
Joe Linton,
yes.
Joe Linton is second with 12.
Oh.
I still haven't got the guy at top.
It's not the right back who I'm thinking of. Who am I thinking of? Oria.
Yeah, not him. No.
And the person at top.
Is it for a lower team, for one at the top or a higher?
The ones left are. He wasn't in the top 6, but was in the top half. And then
Ivan Toney, because he put lots of bets on it.
It's got to be an Everton player in there.
Not an Everton player, no.
No.
Damn.
Is there any Leeds ones?
No Leeds. I'll give you the clubs. You've got 3 left. You've got a Tottenham, a Wolves, and a Fulham.
Richarlison. I'm joking.
Jean Moutinho.
No.
Oh, Kilman.
No.
Out Nori.
No.
This is Wolves. Is it going to be tricky? And Tottenham. Who would it be at Tottenham? Basuma.
Oh.
Not Basuma, no.
Oh, Højbjerg.
Not Højbjerg.
No.
Oh, damn. Wow. Oh, Yusa guy. Brazilian. The right back.
No.
It's not him.
Not him.
Oh, Palinha from Fulham.
Palinha's top with
yes.
14. Palinha was top with 14. Chris and Heather were on with that one. Palinha, yeah. The man
Who's
himself.
The Spurs one? Oh, Sanchez, Davison Sanchez.
No. World Cup winner.
Oh, of course. The psycho, Romero.
Christian Romero loves a challenge.
Two-footed challenge.
Why did I not get that?
Two-footed Romero.
He loves a challenge. And I'll give you the last one. The last one, Nelson Semedo.
Oh, the Wolves back. Okay, yeah. The Portuguese, the right back.
The right back. Nelson
That's tricky,
Semedo.
the yellow cards one.
The yellow card one was very tricky because I thought it gives them some different players to talk about. A bit of a mix. The next one we go back to more the traditional. Most shots on goal. Top 5 most shots on goal. This can be a shot anywhere. Haaland's in 3rd with 116.
Most shots
45.7% accuracy.
Haaland's 3rd.
It's 7-0 in the England game, by the way.
He scored most of it. He scored most of it.
Yeah, it's true. He didn't need to take too many. He took like 2 a game, and that was it. Who just takes?
Salah is second, 121, but with a 37.2% accuracy.
Rashford's
4th, 108. He loves a shot, 45.4% accuracy, 108 shots. You've got the top one and the bottom one.
I don't think there's any Arsenal players in there or Chelsea. There might be another Man City. No, maybe not. Gundogan?
No, not Gundogan.
No, it won't be a midfielder. It's got to be a striker. Tony?
I
No.
wouldn't say it's Tony, no.
Or maybe
Harry
it's
Kane.
Harry Kane is
Harry
top.
Kane,
Yeah.
Yeah.
124 shots.
Damn.
So is it just the last one we need now?
It's the last one who, I'll give you a clue, isn't a striker.
Be a winger or an attacker. Oh, Bruno.
No.
Not Bruno.
Oh.
Wonder if he was in the top 10. Although, to be fair, he didn't take as many. He wasn't as... I don't think he was as aggressive
No.
goal scoring this season, was he?
He played deeper for a few games, I think, which stopped him taking pot
Who's
shots.
always in and around the shots? And it's not a striker, so it'll be a wing. It'll be a winger or an attacking midfielder. Who played a lot of games for Brian? McAllister?
Heather, no, it's not
Philip
Philip
Billing.
No. It wasn't McAllister, no.
Darwin Núñez?
Not Darwin Núñez, no. Lisa, no. It's not Anthony. Heather, no. Not Joe Linton.
Eze?
Not Eze. It's a top 6 team.
Oh, top 6 team. Son?
Nope.
De Bruyne? Oh, no, you said no City.
Maybe is it Odegaard?
It's Martin Odegaard.
Oh, damn.
93 shots of Martin Odegaard. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, to be fair. And he takes free kicks.
Free kicks. 33% accuracy on target. But yeah, it was Martin Odegaard. Gumara should have been a decent shot, but no. Chris was right. Martin Odegaard. And the final top 5 quiz of the night. This is the most minutes played. 4 players plays every single Premier League minute, and 1 player only missed 11 minutes.
Oh, God.
Is Declan Rice in there?
No.
No.
It'll be goalkeeper.
Goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Oh, goalkeepers.
Edison.
No.
Emi Martinez. Just shouting him out for everyone now.
I think he missed one with his World Cup celebration, didn't he? You came back late.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
Did Edison miss a game for Man City in the Prem? I thought he played literally every single one. No. There was 2 games where...
Is Alisson
Yes, I think
one?
I remember. Alisson's
not one, no.
Not
I think
one.
he missed 1 or 2, didn't he?
De Gea?
De Gea's one of them.
De Gea played
every minute.
It's not Ramsdale. Ramsdale missed.
Ramsdale,
it is Ramsdale.
Mate. Yeah.
Ramsdale played every game.
He did Turner. Turner
only played cups, yes. Pickford, yeah.
Pickford
didn't play all season, no.
Ward.
But there might be some that got substituted for an injury or something, but only 4 that made every minute.
Oh, Neto.
No.
Who's Raya?
David Raya, yeah. David Raya. Now, these, to be fair, the next 2 are going to be hard. There was a defender that played every single minute.
Oh, God. Does he?
And he plays for a team that were in the bottom 4.
Of course. Klitsch or Koch, whatever his name is at Leeds.
No. He was a summer transfer as well. He was a new player.
Oh, Tarkovsky.
Good shout. Great shout.
Played every minute. And the second one, Lucas, is one of yours.
Gabriel.
All but 11 minutes, Gabriel. He did indeed.
Yeah.
Gabriel was the last one, all but 11 minutes. There we go.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Points for everyone. Points for everyone. That's the end of our quiz and the end of today's podcast as well. Hopefully it's been a fun one. We've been saying, obviously there's no football apart from the England game, so we're going to do silly little things like this. Bit of transfer news as we're going through, just to kind of keep everything ticking over during the summer. We've got some fun all about, I think Luton Town are up next, aren't they, Charlotte, on our all about list. We're doing Luton, so I think calling that this week to be out next week. So that'll be interesting to find out all about Luton. And we've got some other stuff coming up, which there is something I want to announce, but it's not quite ready. I'd rather it comes out soon or kind of Twitter as a big, so not quite ready to announce that. But lots going on in the background. Thank you for joining us again on Monday. Charlotte, where can everybody find you? If we don't know by now already.
I'm most active on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I'm SharXRAFC. My Her Game 2 stuff is Rochdale HGT. I'm the current blog as well on the Her Game 2 website, so you can find out everything I've done and have achieved at Rochdale. And please keep an eye out for my Rochdale Her Game 2 stuff, because I've been invited to the ladies under 10s medal ceremony. They've won everything this season. So I've been invited to that on Sunday. So there'll be lots of like stuff on social media. So please keep up to date.
Very, very exciting. Do follow Charlotte and all that cool stuff going on. And Lucas, where can everybody find you?
You can find me Crab Dribble on Twitch and TikTok and Twitter, and I'll be back to sort of a regular streaming schedule on Twitch at the moment. Playing a variety at the moment. I'm not really a bit bored of Football Manager, so I've been playing LA Noire recently, nice. And a bit of Witcher. And I've got a few games actually. I've got quite a few games on the list, so I'll be rotating them through. But yeah, LA Noire at the moment, having a lot of fun with that, solving crimes in 1950s LA.
Sounds like a fun summer. Needs to be done. I'm tickled by trying it. I want to get the new Formula One game, but I currently need to fix my PlayStation, so I'd need no kids around with that to get the screwdriver out and fix that before any of that can happen.
One way to stop your kids playing with your PlayStation is play Formula One. It's boring thing.
There's no interest
for kids. No interest. Yeah,
no interest at all. And you can find me at Up the FM Ducks on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, my website upthefmducks.com, where I'm writing about new football shirts coming out and football season reviews on there as well. And of course, you can follow, if you don't already follow the podcast, here are our handles. On Twitter, we are at Absolute Ball Pod, on TikTok at Absolute Football Pod, and on Instagram, Absolute Football Podcast _. Go and follow us on all of those things. And if you're not already, please subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't miss anything that we're up to. But for now, thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful week, and we hope to catch you soon. Take care and bye-bye.